More people apply for Social Security and get denied because when they fill out all the forms at the beginning of the process, they don't put all their doctors in there. And it's just crazy, but it's just the way it works. You know, so many of us think, well, I'm disabled because I just hurt my back. And that, in a nutshell, is what got you there. But what about all your other issues? What about your bum knee? What about the headaches you get? You know, do you get to the point to where you can't use your ankle and you're walking around and it feels like a club foot? Do you have vision issues? You know, do you have mental health issues? You know, do you have PTSD from something? You know, are you depressed because you can't work anymore? Now, Fuller, you're bumming me out. I understand that. But if you're applying for Social Security disability, you're not in a good place. And it's important to not be a cowboy. It's important to not do what my mom does when she's got a bullet hole in her shoulder. And I say, hey, Mom, you okay? And she said, oh, no, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Well, don't do that. I know we're hill people and we're strong and we're tough and we're macho and we don't take no junk. But when you're filling out those forms, Social Security will not know what you don't tell them. So if you've been to a doctor over and over again for years for your fibromyalgia, even though you're applying because your back is what the last straw that broke the camel's back as well, you've got to make sure the fibromyalgia's on there. You got to make sure your seizure disorder's on there. You got to make sure it's all on there. Because Social Security is going to reach out to those doctors, look through the treatment plans, and then they're going to use that to determine if you're disabled or not. And if you don't fill it out properly, they won't know the whole story. And that's when you may find yourself in a situation where you've got to have an appeal. And that's when you'll need an attorney. And that's when you'll call Fuller Bumpers Attorney at Law in downtown Batesville.